This next stream is one I had exactly 1 year ago today. And if I post this today, it's April 25th, which also happens to be my birthday. And another interesting kind of side note about this, which just demonstrates how these little, like, everyday interactions can have a big effect on your dreams and stuff. Come on, man. Ooh, we got the puppy here who's getting big now, huh? Anyway, it's a neat example of how everyday shit can pop up in your dreams later. So I'm in this not local, like worldwide actually. So I'm in this dream messaging group, the Lucid Hive, and a couple days before my birthday last year, one of the ladies in there was talking about how her birthday just passed and she had some really amazing dream, and how that's a reoccurring theme for her, right? Every birthday she tends to get these really awesome dreams. And I remember reading over that, and I don't think I even messaged back or commented on the post, but I was thinking in my head like, oh, that's cool, because that's not something I've ever noticed about my dreams personally. I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. But then, a few days later, I had this really, awesome fucking dream where this is one of those dreams that I have, 2 to 3, maybe 4 times if it's a really good year, of dreams that are just really, really like kind of mind blowing and stand out from the rest. It's one of those dreams that I woke up and tried to tell my wife about like immediately, the following morning. But as I was listening to the words that was coming out of my mouth, I was thinking like, I am not doing the dream any justice. It's coming out just kind of sounding corny and stupid, really. But um, I will do my best to explain it well here. So it starts off. I'm not lucid. I'm around my childhood home at the barn, like always. And there was this funny looking guy there who, just by the way he looked, I was initially thinking like, this dude seems kind of strange to me. But once he came up and started talking to me, I thought, oh, he's freaking awesome, right? And we kind of got on really well. And then like we were walking up to where the house is, where my childhood home is on the ranch. And there was an authority figure coming out of it who like I interpreted to be my older brother, although upon reflection didn't look anything like him. But anyway, so this kind of authority figure comes out to meet the guy that I'm talking with, and they get on perfectly, like right away, and they start having this really hilarious conversation. I wish I knew what it was about. I could remember more of the conversation, but it was really funny. It was like just bubbling over laughter type of funny. So funny that I was laughing and starting to break the dream down and wake myself up. And I wasn't lucid, but like I do this so often that I was keeping the dream together without really being totally lucid and realizing it was a dream at this point. So anyway, the dream's kind of breaking down, but I'm just instinctively trying to keep shit intact, keep the dream going. And then the next thing I know, like the whole dream scene changes, and I'm in a place that I interpret to be New York City, and I'm in this like really crowded hallway type thing, and there's like LeBron James is there, Justin Gaethje is there, some random famous people, but and then there's also a bunch of kids who are rushing off to school. And as these kids are rushing off to school, I see that there's two kind of lagging behind the other group that remind me of my kids. So I think, oh, I should go over there and see if they need help or something. Then as I'm going down the hallway to kind of go check out on the two kids, I see sitting on top of a door, basically the same funny looking dream character from earlier. And I look at him and I think, oh, that's strange, and I get lucid, right? So that's what triggers the lucidity, that once I get lucid, the dream character that was sitting on top of the door kind of gives me this like word of encouragement. Like, okay, hey, good, you got it. So once I get lucid, I see the kids running off, and then the urge I had to go over there and try to help them is gone. I know they'll, be fine. And I leave to go explore the environment. And this was like the first sign of this dream being a bit different from, a typical lucid dream for me. When I was going down this hallway, there was a lot of dream characters in there who looked at me kind of like I talked about in my last video, and I think the video before that, again, depending when I post this, but dream characters who looked at me and knew I was lucid within the dream, right? And so, they're all giving me like these words of encouragement and stuff like that, which is strange, honestly, for my dreams. And then I exit out the building we were in, and there's just a bunch of dream characters in the streets, all dressed up in like parade and party outfits, all going down the street, all talking about this really great show that's like coming up, in the evening. And so I'm out there in the streets and it's already getting dark and we're all heading to like this amphitheater place with a bunch of different stages set up. And I know that on the main stage is gonna be just this like really amazing show that like I just gotta see. Like all the dream characters are buzzing about it. I instinctively know this. I find a seat that's like waiting for me, like right smack dab in the middle of everybody else. And I get there, and when the show starts, I think the best way to describe this is just to go on the basic feeling that it gave me. And so it was like the feeling of applause and celebration and fun and just an eruption. So once the show started, just everybody just erupts in cheers. So it's that feeling just basically pushed up to the max. So that part was already, pretty much amazing, right? So the show goes on. It's totally amazing. The show ends and this really party fun vibe is going around. So I fly off to go see the other stages. And as I'm flying off to see the other stages and I'm having this sense of like just abundance and fun, right? I start to feel bad as I think about my boyfriend. I'm thinking like, damn, if Liz could be here to witness something like this, it would be awesome. Anyway, so as this is going on, I'm thinking like, oh, like, is the dream going to end soon? Should I wake up to try and get her? I don't know why, but I was thinking that I should wake up and check on her. But I'm also thinking the dream's going to end, but I don't really want it to end because it's going so well. And then as this is going on, I start to see a bunch of frozen frames of movies, right? I start to notice that all these frozen scenes in movies are all like only partway through the movie. So it's not like towards the ending, which just gave me this sense of, hey, don't worry, got plenty more dreaming to do, stick with it. So then as that goes on, I have a false awakening where I wake up into what is my room, right? Sleeping in a pretty similar position to what I was going to really sleeping in anyway. And as I'm in there, I notice that there's two ladies in there, right? One I know to be Liz, and this is going to sound kind of funny, but the other one I interpreted to be like her sister, right? And so as they're seeing there, they're kind of moving around trying to be quiet as I'm lying there, sleeping, although I still know to be dreaming at myself to be dreaming at this point. Then like they lean in and they say like, oh, like, okay, hey Matt, don't worry, like we got you. And I was like, okay. And then they say something kind of funny. They say, the ketamine should be kicking in. As long as I can keep my focus, I should be fine. So I'm like, okay, that's fucking weird, but all right. And I got there, I'm focused on it. And then like this like pinkish glow starts the room turns pinkish. And then they have these balls in their hand and they're like cleaning my feet with them and my hands. And it feels, hey, Almia, don't bite that. All right, so where was I? So I'm getting like the most epic hand and foot massage ever, but the feeling that went along with this was like the feeling of love and affection from a partner, right? Like just to the max. A feeling of like love and support of a true friend to the max, right? So it was already again like a very peak experience, right? So I'm just sitting there like drowning in all these good vibes and love vibes he got going on. And then the scene changes again, and now I'm just like zooming out over different landscapes and cityscapes of, who knows, Earth or some other fucking worlds, but like intense shit. And as this is going on, there's another two dream characters with me who I interpreted to be not Liz and her sister. I interpreted one to be like a male type figure and another to be a female figure. And as we were zooming through it, it was like I was being shown like fucking secrets or like, I was being shown things or potential futures. It was like I was seeing stuff from like a god's like view, a god perspective or a godlike angle to things. And it was so overwhelming that the two dream characters who were with me that I couldn't actually see, I just felt their presence, but they were there to help talk me through this, to help me try and, stay in the dream and then, retain this information. Sorry, my dog is eating some shit. So then, all right, so I'm being shown these things and the dream characters are there to kind of helped talk me through it. And I was shown 10 or 11 things. And then when we started getting like deeper down the list of shit they were showing me to like, 8, 9, 10, and 11 and whatnot, at that point it got so ineffable, so basically just fucking mind blowing that even the dream character voices that were with me, they couldn't even interpret it or explain it to me. Okay, then once that ends, I wake up into another dream, or the dream scene changes to where again I'm in like I was lying sleeping on my slide, so I'm in like a same position again like I was in earlier, and like I really am sleeping in real life. But this time I'm like a baby, I'm like an infant, and I look up and I see a mother's face looking at me, right? And the vibes I'm getting here is that of just like pure love, of that of like a parent to a child. And so I got kids, so I'm all about like fucking throwing that vibe out from the adult side, but I forgot the feeling of it from like the baby's point of view. So this was like very intense, right? And like I like reach my little baby hands up, and the mom like grabs my hand, and fucking like tears of like joy basically is what it felt like, or just like going off. And then I also noticed that there's like an older sibling there, but this older sibling is another girl, so like an older sister. I don't have an older sister, I have an older brother, right? And then I also sense another presence in the room of like a fatherly figure, although I couldn't see this fatherly figure. Then I stick my hand up, then the mom grabs it, and then they like all lean in to like hug me essentially. And it was really fucking intense. It was like super intense. And I was and then at that point, this whole time I'm thinking like, fuck, I gotta wake myself up so I can remember this shit, right? But then finally when it gets to this point, I'm thinking like, fuck, I really should wake myself up. I cannot forget this dream. So then I wake up, I am tearing a little bit, I feel all great and shit, and I tried to remember it. And then I tried to tell my wife about it in the morning, and I did a very bad job at it. So hopefully I did a little bit of a better job this time.